Decatur. We have Mayor Tat Bowling, who is speaking right now. An update on the Steve Perkins case. Let's have a listen.
Hearings took place. Following those hearings, along with the information I received from Chief Pinion and our legal team, I closely reviewed all things in each individual matter when considering the cases. I have made my decisions regarding each employee. 3 of the officers involved have been terminated. 1 officer, who based on the facts of the case was found to be involved to a lesser degree, has been suspended. These actions are effective immediately. Per Alabama law, there is an exception to the public records law that covers sensitive personnel records. Officers' names and the specific policy violations along with specific decisions remain sensitive to personnel records and cannot be made public at this point in the process. However, if any of the officers choose to appeal these decisions, their names, charges, and additional details will become public as part of a potential personnel board appeals hearing. The appeals hearing themselves will also be public. It is now incumbent on us as a city, as people who love Decatur, to work to move forward and to work to ensure that this tragedy is not forgotten or ignored. The city of Decatur will begin a top to bottom review of its policing policies, practices, and ways to improve, including how we provide information to the public. Taking this important step is one way to improve, grow, and in a certain sense, rebuild public trust. In conjunction with the City Council leadership, we are identifying and will soon bring on an outside expert to assist in this process. I will call on the City Council to support this effort, which is key both to our police department's long-term effectiveness and our city's long road to healing. So thank you, and now I'll take a few brief questions.
Mayor, we're now over 2 months in this process. When you look at where we are at this point, is there a point in this process that you would look back and say you could have done something differently or would have done something differently with what you're doing now?
I don't think so, just based on the way this process works. And we have that's Mr. Marks is here with me today, and really that's what the big role of our legal team is to guide us through that process.
Did the officers involved provide some sort of explanation or justification for their actions, and did they have lawyers with them in your determination hearings?
Yeah, that's something I cannot comment on. I'm sorry.
Can you tell us anything about the chief of police's opinions to you and what he decided in his determination hearings?
No, ma'am.
Can you elaborate at all on the quote lesser involvement of the 4th officer? Was it a timeline issue? Did he arrive later at the scene? Anything along those lines?
That would be something that would be available as mentioned in the appeals hearing.
You mentioned just now appeals is really the only way we're going to learn more information on this. Will this come out later in the process after the elite investigation, or is this something that will only come out if they are appealed?
So I'm going to defer to Mr. Marks.
There's a certain guideline for the appeals to be filed. Once that's determined, then we'll release whatever information we can. Some of the details we still won't be able to because it'll be part of the personnel board hearing. Legal investigation, while it's very important, it's not impacting us moving forward with this part of the process. The officers have 7 days from today to file their appeal, and then that'll become part of the personnel board process.
You say 7 days?
Yes, 7 days.
Mayor, can you sort of elaborate on why exactly you made the decision to terminate those officers, and perhaps for the other officer who is being suspended, how long will that suspension be?
Yeah, again, this things, information that would come out in the appeals hearing. So thank you so much for being with us today. One last question.
Okay. Is the suspension paid?
Suspension, I'm sorry, suspension is not paid. It's suspension without pay.
Okay.
Thank you.
And Mayor, real quick, I saw your Facebook page has been taken down.
Deactivated, it's deactivated.
Why?
Just because of, obviously, a lot of attention, protests at my house, calls for resignation, things of that nature. So it was just best for me to take deactivate the Facebook pages for now. Okay. Again, thank you so much for coming.
That concludes the press conference from Mayor Tab Bowling, a moment a lot of people have been waiting for. It's in regards to the update of the Steve Perkins case. We have learned that 3 of the 4 officers have been fired, and if they want to appeal their termination, their information will be made public because right now it's sealed. 1 other officer is suspended. Again, this is an update on the Steve Perkins case. 3 of the 4 officers have been fired. If they want to appeal their termination, that information will be made public. 1 other officer is suspended. That will do it for now, and we will continue to provide updates at our 5:30 show.